Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of the Coffee and Coaching podcast. It's a reunion. All three of us used to work together. We're joined by Jack Jacques. Please introduce yourself and explain your coffee situation.
So, coffee on hand today. We have got some Aldi's finest
Yeah.
coffee beans.
Is that in a glass? Have you got that in a glass?
It is, mate, yeah. Fancy this, isn't it?
You're sick, yeah.
Oh, remember, he doesn't mess about.
Oh, mate, no.
Don't fuck about. You came prepared.
I have. So, yeah, I used to work with Jack and Isaac about 1 year ago now in a gym.
We're not allowed to say what it's called.
Yeah, so we worked in a gym. And, yeah, how long did we work together for? About 7, 8 months, probably. Something like that.
Yeah, I was there from January. I left in June, the end of June. So, what's that? I was there 6 months.
Yeah.
Jack, were you there 7?
Maybe a little. Well, I left before you, didn't I?
No?
Maybe just around the same.
Oh no, I left after you. Sorry, didn't I?
Yeah. It was the month
and I
after.
started like a week or so before you, didn't I? Like I come in December.
No, we both started in the same week. Do you remember? We all got hired with that other coach. There was me, you, and the other coach got hired, and then she got sacked on the first day.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. We both started at the same time.
But yeah, so I worked at that gym for just under 3 years. Got the job through just walking in there. I was actually a university student, first year university student. Walked in, just got a job like that. Didn't really have any background PT experience before that. Had my PT quals, but wasn't that clued up. Did my training, but never really PT'd anyone before. And then yeah, so recently I've just made the jump to go self-employed, just like these two here, after finishing university about a month and a half ago now. So I did sport and exercise science at Liverpool John Moores University. And then yeah, I've just set up my own personal brand, JJ Transformations. It'll be a combination of both one-to-one pair training and online training, working from Fitness Freaks Gym on Kempston Street, still in Liverpool city centre. But that's my immediate plans going forward for the next few months or so.
How have you found the transition? Because you seem to be doing quite well.
Yeah, so it's completely different.
Got a bit of attention.
Yeah.
Because this guy, right? When we all used to work in the gym together, I don't think I ever seen one Instagram post ever.
Nah.
Not one. And then all of a sudden, a few months ago, he must have made the decision. He started posting, and now he's getting loads of attention. And he thought, yes, I'm gonna leave.
It was never really a thing for me, Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or marketing. Yeah. Because of the job we were in, we never had to focus on sales, marketing, growing a personal brand or reputation. It was always, we were part of the jigsaw or the puzzle, and I just delivered my coaching through how I did it and my services. But it's completely different now with the transition to my own business. There's a lot more things to consider, such as marketing, sales, and trying to spread my name out as well. Because if people don't know about me, then how am I ever going to get business and grow my own personal brand? So yeah, it's been a massive challenge, but I've planned for it over a good amount of time. And I think I am now ready to take the step. Now I've finished university and I've got different time on my hands. I feel like now is the right time. I have the necessary experience to go and grow where I want to go to. But yeah,
definitely. We were saying, we always say this, Jack, don't we? But although, I mean, me and Jack have very negative opinions of the place that we all used to work in general, but we absolutely completely appreciate how fantastic of a place it was to start a career as a personal trainer. Like all of us, like Jack, how am I going to differentiate between you for people listening? Jack J and Jack G.
Yeah.
We used to call you Little Jack and Big Jack, didn't we?
Yeah.
You used to get pissed off, Little Jack.
He's getting big now, though, lad. I seen that photo you put up yesterday.
All angles and lighting, mate. Don't worry.
He's Little Jack.
I know. Medium Jack, he's called now.
Medium Jack. I'll be Little Jack now. I feel it. Fucking hell.
So fucking Big Jack, you'd sort of done bits and bobs before, training people, but obviously Medium Jack and me, we had never actually trained people before we started, and like joining that environment where you're surrounded by trainers who've been doing it for years is just a fantastic opportunity to learn and pick people's brain. It's like Medium Jack, you'd been there for a year, and you were also doing a degree in sport and exercise science, and so your level of knowledge was well above everyone else's in that gym, regardless of how long you'd been there. And so I literally just picked your brain for like the whole 6 months I was there.
Yeah.
Just annoyed the fuck out of people.
But it was good. We all had very different strengths, and we'd all come from very, very different backgrounds. And at that time, when we were all there, we probably had the best personal trainers in Liverpool. So there was always somebody, a specialist in a certain area that you could always go to. And everyone was always very, very happy to help whoever it was. You know what I mean? And that was across both gyms at the time, both City Centre and Speak. And I think I picked up so much from the different trainers that were there in terms of exercise execution, nutrition, programming for clients. And it was a fantastic, fantastic place to learn. The owner there has provided a great opportunity for young trainers to go in, experience what it's like to deliver high quality sessions, because that's what you are delivering. You're delivering a premium personal training service to higher end clients as well. So you aren't just training your normal people, you are training normal people off the street, but you're in that business district of the city centre when you've got high paying clients who have high standards, which is great because it makes you raise your standards, elevate your coaching, and therefore you're going to develop as a trainer going forward.
Exactly. It's like if you look at every trainer who's came out of that gym, the standards are so much higher than the general personal training population. If you go into any like say you go into JD gym, like you'll see PTs just sat down on a bench watching the client do something, or they'll be on the phone, or like I've heard stories of people like voice noting other clients while they're training someone, and it's like we would never even dream of doing that because we've started in the environment that we did, where that would just never even be okay. You'd get your head chopped off.
Yeah. As much as I sort of fell out with the owner through other stuff and had a lot of disagreements over the way things were run in terms of like their view on what we should be doing and how we should be treating the clients coming through the door and stuff like that. I obviously wasn't happy with it, and that was the reason I left. But in terms of what the place was and how it was ran for the trainers, for the most part, like the team meetings, the way we were always watching each other and were happy to help each other out. And like, if even like, I think we all missed at least one session for some mad reason, like we'd slept in because the 70 sessions a week was running us into the ground. Another trainer would always cover for you as much as they possibly could, wouldn't they? Like if you could.
It was a real team environment that we had, especially in that team there. That was probably the closest knit group that I've worked in the past 3 years anyway, definitely.
Definitely. And I think you can tell, like you've just said there, when trainers leave and they go on their own, regardless of how long you've actually been doing it or how your actual ability as a coach, like experience wise and knowledge wise, you're already better than the vast majority of coaches for having been in that environment and one worked at such a high work rate. Like if you can turn out high quality sessions and you're on 40, 50 sessions a week, and you're not getting to make a living, that when you come out and you can go down to 20 sessions and still make a living, you've got no excuse for the session quality to not be better.
Exactly.
So for that reason, I do appreciate the time spent there, and I would never slag it off in that respect.
No, it's a fantastic business, and they have their own systems and services that they deliver, and I think it's fantastic. And it is a results-driven business, and they do produce results. Don't get me wrong, but I think what you agree with there is in the manner in how they choose to do that, and the systems that they have very set systems in place, and other trainers have very, very different opinions, which is absolutely fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, which is why there may be that slight discrepancy there. But definitely a fantastic place to learn, develop, and expand your own knowledge as well. And then you can build on top of that knowledge as a trainer there, and you can expand into other areas, which you both have done.
Yeah, definitely. I think what I enjoy now is just being able to do whatever the fuck I want without having to, like, actually being able to tailor the stuff more to clients. That was one of the things I didn't like so much about the place, was there wasn't much scope for individuality. And so I think that is something I really enjoy now. We were talking about it yesterday in yesterday's podcast, Jack, weren't we? Just sort of like how individualized everyone's training needs to be, and it's fantastic now that I think have made the jump to be self-employed, got so much scope to do so and actually nail transformations. Like, not, I mean, they, as you say, Jack, they do get fucking boss transformations because the systems in place do work. But every transformation that I got when I was working there doesn't even touch any of the ones that I've got since I've been on my own.
Yeah.
On that note there, Jack, now that you're set up on your own, what sort of stuff will you be doing differently? Like, what's the plan in terms of like programming and like how you're going to approach clients? What's your plans going forward? Like, where's your mindset at in that way?
I definitely think individualizing programs and tailoring programs to certain clients I can do. Don't get me wrong, I could do that because of where I was at in the past year or two. I was allowed to change programs and fit however I wanted to. But working in this new gym as well, it's twice as big and a bit more equipment. So I'm just going to be just experimenting really with different things I can do, you know, individualizing programs. The sessions won't be the same, don't get me wrong, they won't be the same delivery. Still be at the same standard, but then I'll be doing them how I want to do the sessions. In terms of nutritional setup, because there's not, I don't feel like, how can I put it? I'm not overlooked all the time, which I feel like you are there. I think everything, you're always getting judged, which is absolutely fine. It's their business. They have to deliver the highest standard possible. But I have different techniques now, which I use with clients outside. So my online stuff now that has worked really, really well for me. And in terms of like dieting myself, like this year's diet has been, I'll come on to this in a bit, but this year's diet has been completely different to last year's diet, in which I got a transformation. I'm hopefully going to get a better result than last year if I keep going as I am. But yeah, just definitely the scope to just experiment, individualize, and hopefully I'll have more time as well. So through not having to deliver 50 sessions a week, if I can keep it between, I don't know, 35, 45, not having to go to uni that I was leaving work 9:30, going to uni at 10, coming back for 4 every day, getting back in for 9. So I have that much time now where I can do my online stuff. I can check in with clients more. I think the results are only going to get better from here on out because of the time that I can put into the session delivery in terms of checking up on the clients. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, in terms of just being my own business, being my own boss, and being able to structure things how I want them to be structured.
We were saying this the other in the episode we did with Kyle. So if anyone who's listened to episode 5, we had Coach Kyle Taylor on.
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 5. He's very good friends with Jack. We were talking on that episode about how ridiculous your schedule was. It was like, how did you do that for like 2 years? It was like, wake up, sessions, go straight to uni, come back, or whatever you're doing, train, whatever, then you're back in uni, then you're training clients again, and then you get in and you just go to sleep, wake up and do the same again, Monday to Friday.
It was probably the hardest, especially that third year, was the hardest 6 to 9 months of my life. It was wake up, go to the sessions, go to gym, go to, I had a dissertation to do, so I was doing testing for that in the middle of the day, going back to work. It was very, very hectic, and especially managing a third year degree alongside it was really, really tough. But then if I can do that, if I can get through that, then as soon as I have my own business, I don't have to go into uni, then it sets me up a lot better moving forward as well. And I think Carl's got a similar task on this year, in terms of he's taken on Tranmere, he's going to be setting up his own individual stuff. He's doing a master's degree in strength conditioning. So it's going to be a massive, massive year for him. And I think it's great for all students to definitely explore different avenues to go and work towards. but yeah, it's definitely it will help me going forward from that.
In terms of your new gym, so PT Fitness Freaks, is it in down? Yeah. I've seen like videos and stuff inside. I've not actually seen inside. It looks like a decent setup. Have you spoke to those guys? Have they heard anything about opening times? I've spoke to a couple of different gyms and they all seem to be singing off the same song sheet, but no one's got anything.
In terms of when we can open again?
Yeah.
Well, the hope is 4th of July is what everyone's hope is in the industry at the minute.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping onto that, to be honest.
I'm fucking hoping so much.
Go for it.
I'm sick of resistance bands.
No, I'm definitely. Sessions are starting Saturday, 6 a.m. as soon as we're allowed to open. Saturday, Sunday. We'll treat that as a Monday, Tuesday just for that week.
Yeah, Tom is getting thrown in.
Yeah.
Hiya, Tom. Yeah, you in work today, mate? Ringing sick because we are in. Like, get these guys in.
Yeah. But I can't wait. I really, really missed it, to be honest. Just a one-to-one interaction. I know, you do a lot more of your online stuff, but you still do one-to-one. I think are you more one-to-one, Jack? You were more one-to-one before, or you
was. Yeah. The online was very much a new thing.
Yeah, same with me.
Lockdown, and it also took a bit of a backseat.
Yeah.
I sort of knew, like I went and done the OTE and like the London Level Up with Adam Haley and stuff, learned a load of stuff on that. I knew the setup I wanted and sort of how to implement it.
Yeah.
But then just wasn't given it the time of day because of the one-to-one we had. And now obviously kind of kicked myself in the foot, shot myself in the foot a little bit when all this happened, that I hadn't put more time into it beforehand for it to be like a safety net.
Yeah, definitely.
Trying to get like a hybrid mix between the two would be.
Yeah, I think the online training, though, there's so much massive potential for it, and there's a massive future in the industry, especially for those people that already know how to train just a little bit. You can do it, don't get me wrong, you can do it with beginners as well, as long as you've got the right systems and structure in place to do that going forward. But I found the online's helped massively. It took me, I've been developing it since March, April time now, the systems in place where I could deliver it to the highest quality that I wanted to deliver. And I did a trial period with just friends before even advertising it anywhere. And I think it has worked well. And it's just the ability to be able to help people all over the world with the potential to do people all over the world and to take on, 20, 30 clients instead of those maybe 9 to 10 clients that you're working with on a day-to-day basis inside the gym. So I think it's more so about helping people and getting the more transformations, getting more results. Definitely, as a business, I think that'll be what's massive for me this year, is I can help more people than what I have been able to before. Get more transformations that way. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to the online stuff.
I think that's probably the biggest thing online. If you've got the most difficult thing anyway, well, for me personally, I think what you've just said there, if someone is new to the gym, it can still work.
Yeah.
But you need more. Like you can, if you were training more experienced clients, like intermediate experienced trainer, like people who go to the gym, don't need as much. Like you need more information in your head to be able to give them it.
Yeah.
To bring out the transformation, but in terms of what you actually need to deliver through online is almost less. Like you provide more written information and stuff like that for them to soak in. Whereas if you've got someone completely new, if you haven't got that stuff there ready to send them out, you can't deliver the same service. And that's where I struggled the most initially, because I think that's why it took till now, till like the past couple of months in lockdown, where I could fully focus on it, to have that there, because a lot of the clients that we deal with are that beginner, intermediate area where there needs to be a lot more video stuff and a lot more calls and stuff like that, rather than just saying, okay, change this in your training or do this differently on your exercise, and not having to show a video demonstration of it and stuff like that.
Like I love training or coaching you, Jack. I can just say, yo, we're going to do this because we want to add a little bit more metabolic stress, pull 20 grams of protein out, or I would never say that. Add 20 gram of protein, pull 40 gram of carb out, and you're just like, yeah, sound go on.
Yeah, so, yeah.
It's like,
that there just demonstrates that it doesn't matter who you are. Like, for example, you're coaching Jack. I think everyone needs a coach. I think
we were talking about this the other day, weren't we, Jack?
And people like, so when I was getting coached by Alistair, who we also used to work with, people are like, why are you getting coached? Why do you need that? It's not the fact that I don't know how to train and how to train myself and the nutrition, but if I've got somebody on my shoulder that's keeping me accountable for that and keeping me on track about where I want to go to and keeping me on track to my goals, which I want to achieve, then that's only going to keep me going towards that result and achieve ultimately a better result at the end of it. And stop me from falling off track, which is what I think is absolutely fundamental, to have that somebody, even if it's not your coach, to have somebody, if it's your mum, your dad, your friend, your brother, just to keeping you accountable along the way. It'll help massively in terms of both your results and also your compliance to the program as well.
I heard someone say the other day, it was like a coach talking about coaches who don't have coaches. Yeah. It's like everyone should have a coach, even if you are a coach yourself, because if you don't, then that means you don't believe in coaching. So like at the minute, I don't have a coach, but I'm looking for one. We were speaking about this the other day, medium Jack, weren't we? Like coaching is not, it's the accountability, but it's also like you learn shit. It's like if we were talking about like our goals are to be at the top of the industry at some point. In order to get there, we need to sort of not take ideas, like steal them, but like expose ourselves to how those that are at the top of the industry now are working, and take ideas from them and create our own systems which work best for us. But it's like finding a coach that is able, and just sort of learning how other people work for us is going to massively benefit the service that we can provide as well. But then it's the same thing for clients who for like our clients that are simply who are not coaches and just want to get a body transformation. The education side of it as well is massive. It's not just the accountability.
I think in that respect as well, like we say it all the time, like if you're a good coach, or if you're a coach who's got the right sort of, like a coach who just gets it, like if you go to, for example, so if I had a brand new coach come to me who wants a coaching, and they take stuff away from how I deliver the coaching and they implement it into their coaching and it works, you're not going to be asked. Like, no. I'll still do what I do and help my clients, and they've got a little bit better from it. So you've actually helped them, not just with whatever their physique goals are, but also how they run their business. And I'm sure pretty much anyone else would be the same. Like if I went to one of the someone who's better than me and I'm taking ideas from them, obviously you're not just going to fucking steal the whole thing and take it word for word, but like taking ideas and
Google Drive sheet and stab that in there.
Just change the colours on that. That'll do nicely.
Do logo in there.
Like you're not bothered. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was to, Steve McGrath, for example, is absolutely smashing it. Like, probably one of the best social media known coaches in the UK. If I was to work with him and I was like, oh, Steve, that works really well, I might implement that with a client. I highly doubt he's going to turn around to me and go, no, that's my idea, you can't use that. He doesn't care, do you know what I mean? His system works, and it's his system, and people know him for him getting results. So I really don't think he'd be too concerned that someone else was implementing something that works for a client.
I put a tweet out this morning, let me get it up and read it. Coaches should be communicating and elevating each other's service. Don't be secretive. It's not a competition. There are enough clients for all of us. Stop being a cunt.
Yeah.
That sums it up well in that one sentence. I think now that I've as well coming out of work, I'll be able to work with you two a lot more and other coaches as well, which I haven't previously been able to because of being employed. I think we'll learn a lot from each other in the coming months about how we work, the systems we put in place, and the different programming we can use with different clients to be able to ultimately get the best result for that certain client. So I'm looking forward to that definitely as well.
That's why I love these podcasts, because it's like we're just chatting with coaches and taking bits of information and learning and getting a broader knowledge of what other people do, so we can implement or we can improve our own service.
That's it. Like, when you first set your online up, Isaac, yours set up a bit before mine, and you were seeing Ali every day, who'd been doing online for a long time.
Exactly. I was just picking his brain.
Picking his brain, and then I was speaking to you, and you were like, "Oh, well, I've done this, and this works. This is how I've set the check-in sheet up. This is blah, blah, blah."
It's like Jack as well. Before you were
was speak to Isaac about going online, and obviously I've been coached before by Alistair, so I already know had a basic understanding of what worked and what didn't work for me, and as an experienced me as well. Coming back onto the previous point, there's ways and systems and check-ins that I thought, oh, actually that could be better, and if I checked in that way, it'd be easier for the client. So I thought immediately I can do that with a client who may not be as even into it as what I am, as like I bodybuild myself. If I can't do that, then how can I expect a client that's not even interested in the gym, who just wants to get a result, to do that as well? So that's when I started thinking about the different check-ins, systems, and training programming. That how could I, display that to make it as easy and as ethical for the client as possible. So the first thing I did was speak to Isaac about how he did it with his clients, the process, the systems in place to ultimately deliver the best service possible.
We literally did a call, didn't we? I just screen shared.
Literally, it was really good of him. He went through everything that he did, and I don't know if many coaches would do that, but I really appreciated that myself, to see he'd been doing it a long time, and he's got a lot of good results from online, and that was really, really good for me to see. And I think there should be more of that in the industry as well.
Just being a content, like,
yeah.
I know that you're not going to go and replicate exactly what I've done, because if you did, firstly it wouldn't work, because it's my system. It's designed around how I work. It wouldn't work for you to the same degree, and so regardless, anyway, like, it wouldn't work for you. And so it was just sort of like, I'm gonna help you, show you what I've done. You can then take bits and pieces that you like, and as you say, there'll be bits that won't work for you, and you think, that could be better for me and my clients.
Same with absolutely everything in terms of coaching. You are never going to be the same as another coach. If you try and copy what another coach does, it's not going to work to the same effect. You've got to work with a multitude of different people and different coaches in order to create your own persona and as what you're like as a coach. I think that works in everything, in all strides of life.
What the equivalent of that is when someone slides into your DMs and says, "Yo, how many calories should I be on?"
Yeah. Do you know, I've actually got a funny story about that. Like we were saying there, like, if you take something from another coach, you just don't do it the same.
Yeah.
Like, it might have happened to you. I've put a post up on social media, and there'll be like other coaches that I follow or know follow me will put up a post later on that day or the same day, and it's surprisingly similar.
Yeah.
But it's a bit shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, like, come on now, like, you've changed like 4 words in that, and the image is even a little bit the same. Like,
I've had it so many.
You know what I mean? Like, I've don't get me wrong.
Because if people do that, I've listened to something. I think Jamie Elton podcast the other day, and he was saying, "Don't be bothered if people are copying your stuff. You are obviously doing something right." If you're posting that and they're impressed by that, and they're stealing you are obviously doing something right as a coach.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't bother me. I think it's dead funny. It's like, it shows the type of person it is, because they've been too lazy to even take their own spin on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I've seen people post. I'll see like I don't know. I'll see like Fellaini or like Mark Cole's post something on a certain topic on a day where I'm struggling for content, and go, "Oh, that's good. That. Oh, I could stick this picture up, or I could make that about this." But to just go, "Oh yeah, there's a picture about carbs and a bowl of rice," and them saying what carbs are. Yep, Google bowl of rice. Carbs. These are carbs. Post. Yeah. It's like,
it's mad, isn't it?
That's the effort you've put into trying to give people information.
Yeah. But it's just a lack of drive in it. Like, if you want it, you can't just. It's the easy, lazy option in it. For you to just like, "Oh, I can't be asked writing a post there. I'll just copy this person."
You said a really good thing to me the other day, Isaac, actually, on that. when we were talking about like post consistency, and I've actually pulled back on how much I've been posting. So like off the OTE, Adam Haley is massive on like turning up, putting out content, and like having like a posting schedule and making sure there's always content going out and you're always doing stuff, which I'm massively like, I fully like, I agree with and try and follow as much as possible. But then when I'm busy, like you said to me the other day, I was on a call with Isaac and he was like, yeah, but what's the point in putting a post out if it's shit?
Yeah.
He was like, I'd rather put a post out once a week and
Yeah.
it be a fantastic post, putting out like 10 average posts.
That was the plan for me. So going
trying
forward,
to find that balance now between stuff going out.
I've gone from posting probably three or four times a year. I don't know, whatever it was.
Nat said the same. Nat said the same the other day. Remember at the end of the call?
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna have to up my posting game. But I think for me it'd be unrealistic now to go to posting every day. Do you know what I mean? In terms of because I'm not used to it. So I just
it's silly anyway.
Yeah, I have to build up now. I'm gonna target once a week, keep it consistent. I don't know, same day, same time. But I'm gonna make sure that it's a valuable post and people can take value from at the end of the day. And it making sure it is a good post and I'm not just putting out crap or whatever. But yeah,
the opinion I'm of is like, if you can post an unbelievable post 10 times a day, then fucking do it. But no one can. So if you're constantly putting out shit that's at 70% of your maximum, it's like, that is what people view your quality as.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So if you're posting every single day and it's like a bit shit, it's like people think you're a bit shit. Whereas if you post something unbelievable once a week and that's all they see, it's like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. And it's almost like, if as well, what I think, what comes into it is, like, if you see someone post every single day and you're seeing their shit every single day, after like a few months, you saw it's like it's watered down. Like they don't view your posts with the same, probably the wrong word, but level of excitement. Like for example, like Medium Jack, me and you are into TM cycles, aren't we?
Yeah.
Following quite closely. But like recently, I don't watch his stories anymore because it's just like, it doesn't, like, I used to see his stories and be like, yes, TM cycles put a story out again. I can probably learn something. I can probably laugh because he's funny. There's something. But now it's just like, there's so many, which is good. But it's like, I've been watching them now for like a year. It's not the same. Like, his shit's watered down for me a little bit. Like, I still watch his vlogs and shit, but it's like, if you're just constantly on all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's finding a nice balance. I think the volume should come from, in my opinion, with Instagram, from stories, and then the quality shit should be on your feed.
I completely agree with that. I mean, I don't have that much experience of it myself, but I feel like with me storying a lot more, the amount of interest that I've accrued from doing the stories I never used to do before, it's been astounding. It has literally been astounding. I've never had this much interest. I think I probably had about, I don't know, a handful of inquiries at Abs. But now I realise the power of social media. I was speaking to my two lads actually that I live with, and they were like, "Oh, you've got to do this. You need to be posting more. You don't realise how much potential there actually is with social media, and you don't realise the power of it if you use it well." Do you know what I mean? And it can be a massive marketing tool, and it gives you the ability to help so many people. Communicate with a vast amount of people through Instagram, Facebook.
Talking more as well, I think, is a big one. Like you were saying, people don't know you. This is just from my experience to you, is like, there's not many videos of you talking on your story, and there wasn't of me or Isaac. And I think that's a little bit off-putting for people as well. Like, if you start talking, you start doing videos, you'll lose followers, and people will lose interest because they don't like how you sound, or they don't like your personality or whatever. But it's a good thing because they could have been following you for 2 years, and then they find out what you're actually like, and they don't like you as a person, so they're never going to be a client anyway. Whereas if they see a video of you and you're like, oh, his voice gets on my nerves, or his fucking ginger beard's fucking disgusting, it's filtered them out straight away. Do you know what I mean? And then you do get people going like, oh, actually, shit, yeah, I like the way he says that. I like his thought process there, and
Yeah.
that's been a big one for me, because I remember, I'm gonna have to find it. It's probably in my Dropbox. I've got the first ever video I did on social media of me trying to, like, I think it was like a advert almost, saying like I'm going to be setting up on my own and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a lad who used to work with in the army message me going, lad, you look a fucking show there. Just take that down.
But then you develop, you know what I mean? Like, look at you both now speaking on camera. You like reading something the other day and said, if you don't look at something your first product and it's not shit, then do you know what I mean?
We used to sit. Remember, Jack, when we first started? I think we was like 2 months into working at that old gym. We would we like made a pact to like force each other to record videos.
Yeah.
Remember? So that because we knew we'd be so bad at it, and we just forced each other to sort of like just get used to doing it. Just post shit, and even if we hated it, just post it anyway. Just get over the fear, because that's all it is, a fear.
That's all it is, yeah. That's all it. And I will get used to it in the next few weeks and that. But I think as soon as you're used to it and you're comfortable, like posting pictures with my top off now, I've never done that before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's not really phasing me now, to be honest. Now that I realise the importance of social media marketing, I'm gonna have to just get used to it and posting and.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
I think it's important making that switch as well. Like from personal to business. So like for all of us before we were self-employed, social media was a social platform where we were like potentially worried about what people think about us, or like putting up things for a like.
Yeah.
And then your mindset has to shift to, it's just a business. It's just a job now to post.
This
is a job.
Jobs to post.
People don't like it. That's fine, because you're probably never going to be.
Yeah, you're never going to work with
someone that can help.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
There's people out there that this will help.
Yeah.
Once you fully make that switch, you can chat shit and post pictures, and you're just like, "Here's what it is. Don't like it. See you later."
Almost got it. Like what we were saying again in yesterday's podcast, Jack, about people identifying themselves as their business or as a coach or whatever. It's like, we're so much more than what people see on Instagram. So if you post some shit and you lose a few followers, or someone comments negatively on, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's just one aspect of me. You don't know me as a person. I actually couldn't care less. Do
you know what's a good one? You'll start getting this soon, Jack, as well. Like, I never really had social media before needing it for...
neither did I. I think I posted like once a year on my personal.
I wasn't really bothered about likes or shares or whatever. And then I started the social media and was like, oh, that got 10 likes, that got 12 likes. Because I was like new to social media.
Yeah.
But now I put a post out and I'm like, it got 12 likes, don't look at it. I'm like, fuck, that got 6 saves.
Yeah.
And I'm buzzing at the saves and the shares, or like the comments, rather than how many people liked it. Like, I don't care. Like, when you shift to that as well, you're like, wow, someone actually saved that. That's sick. Yeah. I read that and someone saved it.
I don't think likes are the best metric to measure how well something does as well, though, because but just like, I mean, you can't, even if it got like no saves and like done shit on likes and got no comments or whatever, like the amount of shit that I scroll through, I think, oh, let's boss that. Don't click like, don't save it, don't share it.
I think sometimes you're that interested in what the post is, you don't even think to double tap because you're that interested in reading it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And see, some of the best coaches in the UK are getting, I don't know, 80, 100 likes a post, and they've got thousands and thousands of followers. They're obviously having an impact on people. Do you know what I mean? If that many people are wanting to follow them and follow their journey and what they actually do. So yeah, I definitely don't think it's a metric that you should follow off. Maybe if you're an Instagram model, maybe you can consider that.
If you want to be an influencer as your full-time job.
I don't think any of us are planning on selling skinny tea anytime soon, though, so we'll be okay.
I don't want to sell skinny jobs. So, how's your mini cut going, Jack? Medium, Jack?
Very well, mate, so far. Very well. So I'm currently...
So tell us what you've done from the outset, which was different from what you did last year.
Right, so I'll explain what I did last year first. So I was working with the owner of the current, the previous gym I worked at. Fantastic coach, fantastic personal trainer. It was an 8-week intensive cut, of which you two were both there for. It was very, very, very intense.
It fucking was, mate.
It brought me lots of joy
Probably
being in when you were getting hammered.
Yeah, training 9-10 times a week, a combination of cardio, weight training, restriction of calories, starting on 2,200 calories and then eventually working down to very, very low calories.
You made your way out your cucumber, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. It was intense, don't get me wrong, and it worked. It did work. In 8 weeks, we got a fantastic transformation. But in terms of psychologically, looking after it and my body, I was ill for a week, I think. But it was a fantastic transformation, fantastic for business. And made me push my body, and I now know what I can achieve mentally. Like that 8-week transformation was harder than any exam, any essay, any dissertation that I've ever wrote before. And it gives you mental strength. And Jack, I'm sure you've been dieting phases as well, and Isaac yourself, and you know how hard it is towards the end of it in terms of mental strength. And
you feel like you're walking through mud.
Yeah, and it made me appreciate food so much after it, having a restrictive diet from 8 weeks where I didn't go once off plan. I'm sure it's the same for any competitor or anything like that. It made me appreciate things so much more, just the little things in life, being able to, I don't know, even have a bit of libido. Do you know what I mean? It just amazing.
All the testosterone in the world can't fix that when you're like
when
4
your
or 5 weeks.
goes to about 2 or 3 because
You've been to that
no carbohydrates in your system whatsoever, or any muscle glycogen, completely depleted. Mood is terrible all the time. But yeah, it worked. Fantastic transformation. Did great for business. I'm sure it would have got the gym a lot of business as well.
Oh, lad, he said it. He said it.
It was going to happen. It was.
What time is it?
How long did that last?
10:50. So 56 minutes in, we'll have to cut it out. Go on, anyway.
But yeah, and then this year it's been completely different. So it's been my dieting style this time, and I've programmed it myself. I've not had a coach, just because I'm actually self-employed now, but previously unemployed. So I didn't have any income coming in, just because one-to-one completely stopped. So I was like, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to speak to other coaches. Spoke to Isaac a few times. Spoke to another coach that I used to work with as well, and got their insight into it. And this time it's gone really, really well. So I think I started on around 80 kilos, 5'9". Probably body fat was around, I don't know, 17-18% body fat, for example. I started at 2,400 kilos up until last week.
Calories. 2,400 kilos. After you, lad.
Bloody hell. I hadn't dropped calories whatsoever. 10,000 steps a day. And yeah, my weight's come right down to 74.5, and that's just through increasing steps to 10k, training 4 or 5 times a week. My mood is elevated. My energy levels are better than last year, and I think it's just opened my eyes up to I don't have to diet like that. I think
steps is the way forward.
Yeah, I think if you put that much stress on your body, you're increasing your cortisol level by that much. Your body is not going to want to change and drop off that body fat because of the amount of stress that you're causing it anyway. So definitely it's opened my eyes up to dieting styles and different ways that work for myself, which has been massive. And I think my physique is actually looking a lot better than last year anyway. I'm a lot more fuller, I have a lot more muscle mass.
Yeah, I mean, that post you put on your story, or I don't know when it was, you were like a front double bicep in the garden.
Yeah.
Like a whole different you to the last time I seen you cut, just so much bigger, so much fuller.
Yeah, I prefer the look as well. And everyone's been saying to me, like, you look so much better than last year. And this is only 6 weeks into it. I was planning on 12 weeks originally. I didn't expect to get this lean this quickly. But I'll probably call it about 10 weeks. And then I'll be ready to then move into probably like a gaining phase or an off season, as we call it.
I think, I spoke to the guy who done your last cut just as you're reaching the end of it. Like, I sat down with him and was like, look, can I talk through what you've done? Like, what was the plan? Take me from A to B and stuff. And they said, they openly said to me, like, and obviously you knew as well, like, the approach they took was for a drastic before and after, and the muscle loss was expected.
Yeah.
And obviously you've took a very different approach this time. That's meant you've preserved as much muscle tissue, if not all of it, as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've lost muscle.
And the difference is night and day. Like you can just see, like you were lean. I remember you getting the photos done against that wall when you're doing like the side obliques and stuff. And you just
tiny as well, very tiny.
You were just emaciated, and it wasn't even you weren't even your muscles just weren't full. You were flat, but they just shrunk down as well, just to try and they just shriveled up to try and preserve as much energy as possible for you. And yesterday when seeing that photo, I was like, holy shit, he's been eating humans for the past like 6 months. He's fucking huge.
People ask me about that photo now. Like, how did you do it? Do exactly the same for me as what you did for yourself. I was like, trust me, you do not want to go through that.
I don't want to do that.
I would not wish that upon anyone. And it affected people around me as well. Luckily I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, but Jesus Christ, if you were in a relationship at that time, your relationship would have taken a serious toll. Trust me.
I was in a relationship when I cut last year. It was dreadful.
I think that's what people don't understand as well, though, isn't it? Is to get to that level.
Yeah, people don't understand what it takes.
90% of people.
Yeah,
it's not doable, and it's just not needed. Like, no one sees. I don't know if you see Mark Rhodes put them pictures up the other day of his last show he ever did, and he ends up in hospital. Yeah. And it was like, everyone thinks this was me in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
This is what it really looked like. And I think there needs to be more of that, because people don't see it. Like, have you seen the video of Eddie Hall after he'd done the world record deadlift in the backstage stuff? And he's like, don't fucking video me, because he nearly died.
Yeah.
Like, people don't see that. People are like, oh yeah, I want to look like that. I want to get to that. And it's like, they're not aware of the dark place you've got to push yourself towards. And if they're coming to you for to feel a bit better and to get healthier, you don't want that.
I think that brings around to the point as well as why are we actually doing what we're doing. So why are people going to the gym? Do you want to feel better about yourself, or do you want to get in ruthlessly, shredded shape? And I think ultimately myself now, I don't want to get to that point again. I don't want to get to the point where it's affecting my life so much that people don't want to be around me. I want to be in great shape. I want to be able to go to the beach. Don't get me wrong. I'll take my top off. People go, wow, he's in good shape. But I want to be able to enjoy life, enjoy my holiday, spend time with people, and be a nice person to be around as well. I think that's massive. But yeah, I think it's opened my eyes up now to, you can still get in very good shape with not restricting your diet so much as what I did. It's just at the end of the day, it's all just science, isn't it? There's different ways and different approaches to do that. And I think because don't get me wrong, because I did get that lean last year, I think it has been easier.
Yeah, definitely. Once you've been there, going back, that's going to be probably the hardest cut you'll ever do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It was just weighing your cucumber, man. I'm never going to forget that. What was it, 20 grams of cucumber you were allowed? What's that like?
Half a cucumber.
Half a calorie.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, man. You could eat a whole cucumber.
Into that place now. This cut now, higher food.
Probably feels easy.
Intensity.
Yeah. It's not. The thing is, I'm eating a lot of food as well. I have a bacon egg sandwich every morning for breakfast, and I love it, mate, every minute of it. But that bacon egg sandwich is the best bit of my day.
The way I feel about everything is put the minimum amount of effort in and get the maximal out of it.
Yeah.
We were saying, again, going back to yesterday's podcast, Jack, you don't need perfection.
No.
And I think you did the post. I did the post also last night as well, and I think you did. Or something similar.
Someone stole that post off me yesterday.
Yeah. I put my own twist on it. Man. But
you know what? It made me laugh because I only mentioned that post very slightly in the podcast. And then I read your post last night and was like, we're on the exact same wavelength. You hadn't seen that post. We'd written them completely separately and just mentioned the whole, that phrase essentially.
Yeah, because
and we're both pretty much saying exactly the same thing. And it was like,
because what I've been doing, if you haven't noticed, is whenever there's been a good topic we've spoken about on the podcast, I've done a tweet about it and then an Instagram post about it. And I think obviously you've done the same thing. We were speaking about it in the morning. You've gone, oh, that's a great post. I'll post that later. But I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, putting the minimal amount in to get the maximum out. You're in 2 weeks, you'll probably not be far off where you were last year, but you'll actually look better anyway, regardless. Obviously, you've got more tissue because of the approach that you've taken this time. But it's like, you could then, if you wanted to, probably spend another 6 weeks running yourself into the ground, fucking yourself up, destroying your health to get to look 1% better.
Yeah.
It's like most people, if they understood what actually went into it, they wouldn't want it. Like, just a simple fact, like, no sex drive, that's wrong. That should not happen.
It's not human to be experiencing that, and you've just got, I think the limit of carbohydrate is just so horrible on the body. I think I was having like, I don't know, 20, 30 grams of carbohydrate purely from veg. I think it got to that low on the low day, on the low carb day, where it was very, very, very low, and it was just horrible. And it does affect mood massively, and that's what I think. As long as you're happy day-to-day life, and you can achieve a body transformation through not putting your body through the mill and still having a decent quality of life, then I think that's what people should approach it.
Yeah.
Especially for the clients that we work with, you don't need to, mess your body up that much in order to achieve body transformation. You don't.
Yeah, definitely.
As well, I think as well, not only do clients not want it, but because they don't understand what actually goes into that last push, is you can't do it.
No.
Like, you've got someone, you can't. Like, I'm sorry, like, not sounding like a dickhead, but you can't. Like, you're not going to stick to it. Like, you got someone who's coming to you, and the basics of a calorie deficit that you're still getting to grips with. Like, if you're struggling with that, you're not ready to go to that dark place. Like, you will cave after a week.
Yeah.
So not only do you not need to take your body to that place, because your health, your mindset, everything's going to be impacted for what a photo. Fuck that.
You nailed it, didn't you? I think you nailed it. Just saying, ultimately, the health of the person is the most important thing, and the health of your clients is the most important thing. So, if you can't expect them to go to that place that we would ourselves go to, but you can't expect a client to go through that.
But even then, now, like, you, Jack, or us three couldn't go to the same dark place that someone who's prepped for the show 3 or 4 times could. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as when we talk about training, like doing those high rep sets. You can't just jump straight into it. You can't take someone to fail when they've just started training.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to that dark place on your first cut. It's just never going to happen.
Yeah,
it's going to be too much.
Never ever. Even just hunger. A lot of people just can't even deal with the feeling of hunger. So never mind not being able to walk or being sitting on a chair and it hurts your arse bones. Like, you get to the point. Like, did you get to this point at all, Medium Jack, where last year you'd sit down on a hard surface and you couldn't because it hurt your bum bones?
Horrible, mate. It's just even moving. Just the fact I was struggling to move around the gym.
It takes so much motivation.
It was more on the leg press. I'd take a few minutes and lean on the leg press because you need that much energy just to do the basic things in life. Do you know what I mean?
It takes so much energy, even to just posture. Posture's gone. Like, just everything. Even getting the remote. Like, it's like, oh, fucking hell. Be arsed getting up to get this remote.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. You don't want it.
I think I'm about 10, 15 pounds away from that, yeah.
Yeah.
I still feel sound.
And what's your plan, Jack, for dieting? Because I've touched on me, but in this year, what's your plan? Is it going for a show? Is it just mini cut?
It was initially a show.
Yeah.
And Isaac, I think when we initially started, he was like, look, I want to get into prepping people. And I was like, right, well, use me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be a dummy. I'll tick the boxes. Just tell me what you need. Like, I was looking for a coach anyway because I wanted to like we were saying before, you just need someone, you need that accountability, and you just need your head to not be in it. Like, I think one of the biggest things for me is I know the information that he tells me on a check-in, but I don't think about it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He'll say something in a check-in, and I'll be like, okay, I'll do that. And I'm like, if I think about it, I already know that. And if it was someone else, I know it. But when it's you, it's just not even a consideration.
We always say this, don't we? It's like, you know, like when I'm programmed for myself, I'm an idiot because you're your own best mate. And I said on my story this morning, I've started taking check-in pictures for myself. I've started filling in my own check-in forms, which is really weird because I'm just filling in a check-in form and then reading it again 2 days later. It's like, what?
That's what I do, mate. That's what I've done from the first week one. Just filled out every single day: protein, fats, carbs, dietary compliance, all the stuff that you would do with a coach. And then I've shared it with Isaac actually as well, just so you can get a second opinion on that as well. But
what are you doing? What are you doing with your fats? You spoke about fat.
I think I have dropped them, mate, slightly for this week coming forward, but I never really hit them anyway. But I think now that, especially now I'm getting leaner, we can afford to definitely increase the carbs peri-workout, pre and post, just to maximise my training performance, and you know, maximise my muscle retention as well. So that was one thing I took from Isaac, was my fats were probably slightly too high in terms of when I dieted before. I was always been on very, very low carb diets. So I think it was just instilled in me that I had to be on that in order to make progress. Isaac kind of sat me down and talking to him and said, you won't just implement this and you will see better results. And I've done that.
You genuinely
I look better. I do look better for it. And still in I'm still in a deficit ultimately, so I'm going to be losing weight. And it's going to maximize muscle protein synthesis by the combination of protein carbohydrates, as we all know. So it's going to, I think it definitely will maximize the results. And especially as I'm getting more insulin sensitive now, as the cut goes on, I'll be able to handle them and utilize them to the best degree.
Definitely. I personally am just of the opinion, if you're trying to get pretty lean, it needs to be really a high carb, low fat approach. Not low fat, but like you should prioritize carbs, in my opinion. Firstly, obviously, as you said, the maximize muscle protein synthesis. The goal of getting lean is to retain muscle and lose fat. Now, you can lose fat regardless of either approach, whether it's high fat or high carb. As long as you're in deficit, you're going to lose the fat. You can't train hard, or you can train harder with a higher carb approach, and you'll also retain more muscle with a higher carb approach. So I just think that's the best way. And also you get to eat a little bit more as well, which is good.
Yeah. Like, I've still got like a massive bowl of baby rice pre-workout.
Yeah.
And
like, this morning I've got my 2 slices of toast.
Yeah. If you pull that out,
I've got my Cocoa Pops in there still at this point. 22 calories.
It's gorgeous, man.
Mate, I'm actually enjoying it. It doesn't feel like I'm dieting. It really doesn't.
My post-workout's pickle mix. My life is sound.
Sound, man.
Yeah.
Like at the minute, I'm being extremely aggressive because I want to be ready in like 2 or 3 weeks when the gym's open. So I took my first physique pictures this morning. I'm so flat. So flat. Like there's just nothing.
Yeah.
There's just nothing there. I just look like a baby. It's just like there's no definition whatsoever. It's terrible. But I'm just gonna have to just grit my teeth. All of my carbohydrates are pre and post workout. There's nothing anywhere else throughout the day. And it's but I'm very excited to have this flat now. In 2 weeks I'll be so depleted, and then I'll start eating a bit of food, and then I'll go into the gym, and hopefully, I said to you the other day, medium Jack, I want to add about 5 kilo in the first month.
I said it's all right for him. He's only been training a year. Try 5 years when you've been training since 16.
No, you can do it though when you're that lean. When
you
get lean, it's easy, man.
Genetics like yours, boy, and you're set.
I know. I've been blessed, haven't I?
Well, I don't know. I said this to you the other day. I sent you a voice note the other day. I said, if there's anyone I know who ticks the boxes every single day for everything, not just training and diet.
Yeah.
Like your sleep, your stress levels, meditation, breathing. Like you're on it, like hands down on it. Like you piss all over it compared to me, and it shows. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount your physique has changed from when we first met to now
Ridiculous.
is ridiculous. Like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I probably look maybe a little bit bigger, a minuscule amount bigger, and a little bit leaner than when we done the photo shoot, and I was lean there.
Yeah.
I probably look a lot leaner. I'm a lot leaner now.
Yeah.
Weight wise, I'm around the set. Like I haven't added much tissue.
Yeah.
More like a different human, mate. Like, completely different from like.
No,
And it's not because the genetics, like, yeah, they play a part. It's because you nail the boxes. And even if you turn around to me and say, "Oh, I've not been on it," your level of not been on it is most people's like working
it's a
really
meditation session in the morning. That's what you're not being on it is.
Yeah.
You've nailed your protein, fats, and carbs, and you've trained to your maximum ability, but you've missed that meditation session, so you're not on it.
Went to bed at 10:05 and not 10 o'clock, and it's fucking wrecked the whole day.
HRV slightly, out.
Resting heart rate's up by 2. Fuck.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man, but I think it is just a combination of everything. I think it's, yeah, I do tick the boxes quite a lot. I think I have been blessed with good genetics. Even before I was training, I was in all right shape. And all I did was play footy. I'd never lifted a weight in my life until last January. And also that, not like 6 months ago, like 18 months ago. I still think I'm seeing newbie gains, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I am new to it. So I think it's just a combination of all of it. And also the fact that I'm so fucking interested in it. Like most people who, when they very first start lifting weights, they're just sort of doing it. Whereas me, I've done newbie gains, I've got good genetics, and I've also absolutely smashed the shit out of it. Do you know what I mean?
You've fully maximised that like newbie gains window.
It's
Where
the
a
same.
lot of people...
I had a client like that called Thomas. You two both know him.
Yeah.
Smallest kid you'd ever seen. Smallest, 19 years old, and never lifted a weight before in his life. And then the amount of tissue that we put on in a 18-month period was frightening.
Yeah.
It was honestly frightening. Similar to you.
Yeah, and that's really special as well, because he obviously didn't have the genetics.
Yeah.
Because he was skinny to start with.
There is no excuse. If you apply the work rate and you put the work in, you eat the amount of food, there's no limit really. And you've proved that, he's proved that. It doesn't matter what you are, obviously you have some of the limit, but there's still a massive amount of progress that you can make anyway.
It's just science, innit? As we say.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You just got to. I treat myself like a scientific test.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you'd be pissed off if you'd set up a study and someone was fucking about with it, wouldn't you? Like you told someone to eat this many calories and they didn't, you'd be like, "What are you doing? Like now you're not getting paid. Like, get out the study, you bellend." I treat myself like a scientific subject. That's a really, really weird way to treat yourself, but that's how I do it.
It's just a little snippet inside what your head is like, though. Like, it sort of shows like how you work. That like, even when you talk about training and stuff, like your motivation for training is very different to mine. Do you know what I mean? Like, you train for what it's doing to your body, and like you enjoy the fact that you know the like processes going on inside. And
we said this the other day when someone asked it in the Q&A, why do we enjoy training? I was like, I don't really. I like knowing what I'm doing to my body. I'm doing it for the internal response that's going to occur.
Yeah.
But like, I really enjoy just mashing myself up, you know. Like,
do you know what? I think the more I think about it, though, the more true that is for probably most of us. Like, no one actually enjoys training.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the way we train, no one enjoys that.
No.
And if you do, you've got something wrong with you. Like, but you know what it's for. You understand the end process, the end result. So
yeah, it's literally like even in the garage, like like I can still replicate the same intensity with 7 kilo dumbbells on a wall squat than I can on a hack squat. Like I made myself fail at 9 reps yesterday with 7 kilo dumbbells in my hand and a backpack on. And it's just, I think if you're really, really, really into the process, you'll always do very well. Right, should we call it a day?
Yeah, I think that was a really good episode. Again,
too long.
Really good conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Jack. Taking time out your day. Obviously, very busy at the minute setting up the whole new business side of things. So thanks for taking time out to come and have a chat with us.
Remind everyone where they can find you on Instagram.
So it's at JJ Transformations.
Very nice.
On Instagram, yeah. We'll have Facebook website coming soon, but that's in the process at the minute. But
what are your long-term goals, man?
So speaking to Isaac about this yesterday, weren't we? So we were both saying we want to be top 50 UK coaches by 2025. And I think in the next 2 years, I'd like to have my own facility within Liverpool. I think basically be like a training hub where a few trainers train from, content creation, and just where you can charge a premium price in a premium facility, just training with a few of your mates as PTs. You know what I mean? Not as in a similar setup to previous gyms we've worked at. Just where you go in, you deliver your sessions. It's a great facility, great environment to be around, and you can just annihilate your clients and just get the best results possible in the best environment possible. So that's my long-term ambitions, and then just to keep growing this business really. So online's doing really well at the minute, so I can keep growing on the online side, help as many people out as possible, and then hopefully progress my one-to-ones in-house as well in my pair training from Fitness Freaks when hopefully we open 4th of July, fingers crossed. But I've already had lost so much interest from that. So hopefully 4th of July, yeah.
I'm made up. You finally left the house. You've moved out.
I think I've timed it right. I think with uni in the way last year, I think it would have been too much stress for me.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we? Trying to balance it, setting up a new business with 3rd year uni would have just been.
Oh, first year of business is madness.
Yeah.
But I tried to time. I left that gym 5 weeks out from me cut, whereas like I was basically like 1 week out from a show. So it was like, imagine being 6 weeks out from a show and then deciding to leave to just become unemployed and go self-employed just out the blue. It was like the stupidest fucking thing I could have done.
This before as well though, how much better is your productivity when I'm dieting anyway, and everything, my motivation, everything is through the roof in terms of work-wise. When I'm doing well and dieting myself, I think it reflects in your clients' work and your own work that you're putting out on social media and your motivation towards wanting to help more people.
Yeah,
I think that's massive as well.
Definitely. I think it's so like, because everything's like regimented, like meal time and spot on. Like you don't miss a fucking meal. Like everything's weighed out, everything's perfect, and that same sort of shit. And like you don't miss a session. You make sure you're nailing your rep ranges properly, like whatever. Like that same principle and appreciation for accuracy translates into everything, I think.
Yeah.
But it's weird. You'd think it'd be the other way around, wouldn't you? When you're absolutely fucked, like you'd think that everything else would suffer, but it seems to be it's like the opposite, I reckon.
Not the best in you, definitely.
Right. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you in episode 13.
Cheers.